Hello everyone, welcome again to another tutorial. So today I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful beaded bag. Thank you all for your love and support. Let's get right into the video. So on my table here I have two different colors of bead, okay? I have pink and white pearl. So I have here my 50-pound fishing line. That's what I'm going to use for this weave, 50-pound fishing line, okay? This is how it's looking like. This is the thickness of it. So these two beads are of the same size, okay? These are 8mm bead I'll be using for this weave. And we are going to start. Here is my line. And I'm going to string 4 beads on the line. I'm starting with 4 pink beads. I have my 4 beads on the line. And I'm going to hold the last one and cross my right line into it and pull. Like this. And pull it down. Now we have something like this, okay? We have 4 flower of bead over here, and now on each line I'm going to add 1 pink bead on each line, the right and the left line, like this. Then again I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the pearl and pull down. This is the white, cross both ends, pull it down like this. Now each side of my line again, the right and the left, I'm adding the white pearl on each side of my line, okay? This is the right and left. I add 1 bead to each side of my line, then I'm crossing both ends of my line into the third one and pull. So now we are going to continue with the pearl. I'm going to repeat it again. I put on each side of the line 1 pearl. Then I'm going to cross both ends into this one. Cross and pull down. Like this. Now again, we are going to continue with the pearls. I add 1 pearl on each line and I'm crossing both ends of my line again into the pearl and pull down. Cross and pull it down. And this is how it's looking like. We are going to continue to make the white pearls. I'm going to make 12 of these ones, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and make 12 of the pearls. And this is how it's looking like, a right angle weave. So continue to make yours and I'll meet you back here. And this is mine and this is how it's looking like. So if you count the white part, it's 12. And the pink we make only 2. So add to it, it's 14. Now this is how it's looking. Now what we are going to do, we are going to repeat the pink on this side too. So we are going to continue with the pink. I add 1 pink bead on each line, that is the right and left, and I'm going to cross into the third one and pull down. Cross and pull. So now what I'm going to do, this is how the weave is looking like. We are going to turn to continue our weaving, okay? We are going to turn and make another row. So what I'm going to do, we are going to turn this way, okay? Now on my left line, this line, I'm going to add 3 beads to my line like this, and I'm going to cross with my right line and pull down. That way my line turn on the side, so I can start a new row like this. This is where my line is. It's in this bead over here. My line is in this bead. And we are going to continue and start a new row. This is my right and this is my left line. So on my left line, I add 3 beads to my left line. Like this. And I'm going to cross the last one with my right line and pull down. Cross with the right line and pull. So I'm going to use my right line again and enter the next bead. This is my right line. I'm going to pull through the next bead. And on the left line, I add 2 beads to my left line. This one. I add 1 pink first before the white pearl. Like this. And I'm going to cross with my right line and pull. We are entering the pearl, so I start with pearl like this. Now my right line again into the next bead. I pull into the next bead and add 2 beads to my left line. So this time I'm adding 2 beads, okay? So this time we are going to add all pearls, all the white pearls to where the pearls are, and the pink to where the pink is. That is what we are going to do. Now again, into the next bead, I'm going to pull my right line into the next bead. And I add 2 beads to my left line. Cross and pull down. Into the next bead again. That is what we are going to do. I'm going to pull my right line into all the edge bead, and we'll add 2 beads to my left line. We cross and pull down like this. This is how the weave is looking like. Very pretty already. This is how it's looking like. And now we are going to continue to the end. So let me do couple and you do the rest. I pull through the next bead and I add 2 beads to my left line. Cross and pull down. Into the next 2 beads. Add 2 beads to your left line. Cross with the right line and pull down. So I want you to continue to make yours and also continue mine, and I'll come back and meet you here. I think you see how the pattern is going already. Pull through the next bead, add 2 beads to your left line, cross and pull down. Okay, now we are going to continue. This is how it's looking like. Continue to the end. And now I'm about to complete this row. It's looking pretty already. I'm going to continue to complete this row. I add 2 pink to my left line, cross and pull. Now I'm going to pull my right line again into the last bead over here. This last bead at the end. Please buy your choice of colors that can make this bag beautiful for you. Pull through. Now the same line, I add 2 beads to the same line that I pull through the bead. Like this. Cross and pull down, and that way the line turn on the side again, so we can start a new row. Now I'm going to flip it over to my side so we can start a new row. My left line, this is where my line is. It turned on the side. We are going to continue to make another row. Okay, now on my left line I add 3 beads to my left line. We are starting a new row. Cross and pull. Now into the next bead. Pull the line through the next bead and add 2 beads. That's 1 pearl and the pink one, like this. Okay, now put the pink one first before the white pearl, like this. That way we can enter the pearl and continue our weaving like this. So again, I'm going to pull my line again into the next bead, the right line into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. So now I'm going to pull my right line again into the next bead. I'm going to continue to make a couple of these, then you do the rest. Okay, I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull down into the next bead again. I add 2 beads to my left line, like this. I cross and pull down. I'm going to pull again into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. I'm going to cross with my right line and pull down. So this is what we are going to repeat. I'm going to repeat this, complete this row, turn and make another row, and we are going to make 27 rows. So I'm going to make a wide one, I'm going to complete this row 10 and make it wide and make a long mat for 27. This is mine and this is how it's looking like. If you count this side, it's 16 and the longer side is 27. Okay, 27 by 16. That's how the measurement is. And now we are going to fold. This is how it's looking like. I'm going to count from both sides, on both sides, and we are going to have 5 for our base. So I count from here to the middle, and we are going to have 5 in the middle. You count, this is 11, and the other side too, count 11 in, and now we have 5 in the middle over here. That 5 is going to be our base. That is what we are going to fold on. Okay, so you fold it nice and neat. This is 1 2 3 4 5 in the middle. That is what we are going to be the base of our bag. Okay, so I'm going to fold on it, fold on 11 on both sides like this. Fold on it. You have to fold on those beads. Okay, make sure you fold it nice so you don't weave into the wrong line. Okay, that is all you need to do. And now that we fold, we have our base. We are going to fill the side. I'm going to use these 2 beads, pull my line through these 2 beads over here like this. I pull my line through these 2 beads. Okay, so I add 2 pearls to my line. I cross with my right line and pull down like this. Now my right line again, I'm going to pull it into the next bead. This line into the next bead. I'm going to add 2 beads to my left line. Cross and pull. I add 2 beads, okay? I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull down. Now my right line again into the next bead. I pull through the next bead and I add 2 beads again to my left line. I cross with the right line and pull. My right line again into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. So now I'm going to pull my line through the 5th one, 1 2 3 4 5. This is the 5th bead and the one on the side. This is the last bead for the base, and I'm going to pull through one on the side over here. I'm going to add 1 bead to my line, cross and pull to complete this row. Now my right line into the next bead. Put my right line into this bead. Then I put 2 beads on my left line. I cross and pull. Now into the next bead. Now I'm going backwards. I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. I'm going to pull my right line again into the next bead. Pull through the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull down. Now I'm going to go through the next bead. Pulling my line through this bead, the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. This is 2 beads I add to my left line. Cross and pull down. Now I'm going to pull my line again into the last bead, this last bead and the one on the side. So I pull through the last bead. Now I'm going to pick one on the side to complete this row. I'm going to add 1 pearl to my line. Add one pearl to the line, cross with the right line and pull down. So now my right line again into the next bead. I pull through the very next bead on the side, and on my left line I add 2 pearls to my left line, cross with the right line and then pull down. I'm going to pull through the next bead, and I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with the right line and pull into the next bead again. I add 2 beads into next. I add 2 beads to my line, cross and pull down. Now I'm going to pull my line through the last bead over here and the one on the side. Go through the last bead and this one on the side. And the number of beads we need to complete this row, 1 bead. I pick at 1 pearl, cross both ends of my line into it and pull. So my right line into the next bead. We are going to do 1 more row, then you do yours and I'll meet you back here. I add 2 beads to my line, I cross with my right line and pull down. Now I'm going to pull through the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with my right line and pull into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull down. Pull through the next bead. Add 2 beads. Now I'm going to pull my line to the last bead, okay? Go through the last bead and this one on the side. And now pick up 1 bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull down. Like this. So now I'm going to pull into the next bead and I'll do mine off camera and I'll come back and meet you here. This is how it's looking like. We are going to continue the same way, continue to the end, okay? Continue the same way and complete the side. And this is how mine is looking like. I'm about to complete. I'm on the second but last row. Now I'm going to put my right line again into this and this one. This middle bead first and the one on the side. Now I'm going to take 1 pearl, cross both ends of my line into it and pull down. Like this. Now we have to complete it with the last row. I'm pulling my line through the last bead over here on the side and I add 2 pearls to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. Now I'm going to do the same and pull my right line into the next bead. Then left line, I add 2 pearl bead. Like this. Then I cross with the right line and pull. This is what we are going to repeat on this last stage too. If you are able to do it from the beginning up to this stage, then you have no problem. You just have to continue and complete. So I put my right line into the next bead and I add 2 beads to my left line. I'm going to put my right line again into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull. Now this is the last bead. I pull my line through. I'm going to pull to the last bead on the side into this bead, okay? I'm pulling through the last pink bead over here. I add one bead to my line and I cross with my right line and pull. And this completes our weave for the side. This is how it's looking like, very beautifully. Now the loose line over here, what I'm going to do, I'm weaving it back into the bead. Make sure it's well secured enough. I'm going to lock the line into the bead. So I'm weaving right back into the bead. Make sure it's well secured. So I'm locking it into this pink bead before I weave the rest. This is how it's looking like. And I'm going to complete the second one. So do yours, just start the way we did and complete yours too. I'm done with mine and this is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. This is the side and this is the other side. This is how it's looking like. So now we have to make a handle on it. The handle here is my line and I'm going to start making the handle. I'm going to use this black bead to embellish the handle a little bit. Now here is my line and I'm going to pull my line through these 3 beads in the middle, 1 2 3, okay? So I'm putting my line through these 3 beads in the middle like this. These 3 beads, okay, over here in the middle. Now I'm going to take one pearl and I'll cross both ends of my line into the pearls like this. Pull down. This is how it's looking like, and this is the base that we are going to weave on it. So I'm starting with 3 pink beads, okay? So we are going to work on those 4 beads. Start with 3 pink beads like this, and my right line again into the next bead. So I'm going to pull through the 4 bead. Let me remove it a little bit to explain it a little bit for you. Okay, so we are working with this 4 bead. Okay, now I add 3 bead to start with like this. This is how it is. Now I'm going to pull my line again into the next bead. My line into the next 4 bead, this one, okay, the next 4 bead over there. I'm going to pull my line through the next one. So I add 1 black bead and 1 pink like this. Now cross with the right line and pull. I'm going to pull my line again into the next bead, this one right here. Remember, we are working with the 4 bead in the middle over there, okay? So I pull my right line into the next one. I add 2 pink bead, okay, to my left line. Cross and pull down. So now I'm going to pull into the last 4 bead, this one. This is the 4th one. I pull it through and I'm going to pull again into the pink bead on the side. Now I add 1 black bead to my line, cross and pull. Now my left line, this line, okay? Add 2 pink and in between I put black bead. I cross in the pink bead and pull down. Now I'm going to pull my right line again, this line into the next bead. And I'll be adding 2 pink bead. Now I'm going to pull through the black bead on the side. I'm going to pull my line into this black bead, my right line to the black bead. I add 1 black bead and pink bead. Cross into the pink bead and pull into this pink bead and this one. I pull through the middle bead and come up 1 bead, which is the pink bead over here on the side. Now I add 1 pink bead to my line, cross and pull. I start with 3 pink again. This This is a cubic right angle weave that we are making to make the handle. Now my right line into the black bead. I add one black bead and a pink bead. Cross and pull down. Now into the pink bead again. Add two pink beads. Now into the black bead and this pink bead on the side. Now I need only one black bead to complete this row. Cross into the black bead and pull down. I'm starting again with two pinks and in between I put a black bead. Cross into the pink, pull down. Now into the next bead, add two pink beads. This is a little design we are making with the black, that is why we're mixing it. And if you follow, you will get it, okay? Just pay a little attention and it will be very easy for you. Into the next bead and up into this pink bead. Now I need only one pink bead to complete this row. So this is what we are going to continue until we make it very long. So I'm going to pull through the pink bead. I add two pink beads into the next black and the pink bead. Then I need only one black bead to complete the row. You see how it's looking like? We are putting the black on the side. There's a little embellishment so it can look very pretty, very beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it and complete it and make it very long. It's very simple and easy to make if you follow the steps, okay? This is how long I made it. It looks very beautiful with the black in the middle. So if you count, I make 23 steps, okay? This is 23 count that I make. This is a total of 23 to show you how we are going to attach it to the other side, this side, okay? So now I'm going to make a base for this side, okay? So we can attach that directly onto it. So I'm going to pull my line again into the 3 bead like we did for the first one, the first side, okay? I'm pulling through this 3 bead, 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm pulling my line through. And again, we are going to make 4 in the corner over here, this 3 bead, okay? So I add 1 purl and cross both ends of my line into it and pull. This 4 bead, that's what we are going to work with, okay? Now I'm going to align my handle on each bead, okay? This is 4. I have 4 on the handle too, so I'm going to put it together, align them nicely like this. Make sure you position the ends well on each bead. First, I add 1 pink bead to my line. Okay, now I'm going to put my line through this pink bead on the end. I put my line through it and pull. Now I take 1 pink bead and I'm crossing both ends of my line into it like this and pull down. Now I'm going to pull my right line again, this line, into the next bead. This bead. Remember, we are working with 4 beads over here, so I'm pulling my line through the next bead and my left line, this line into the black bead. Okay, I'm pulling it through this black bead in the middle of over here, this black bead. Okay, and now I take 1 pink bead, cross both ends of my line into it, pull down. My right line again, this line into the next bead, into the next purl, okay? Remember, we are working with the 4 bead into the next bead. Now my left line again into the next pink bead. This one right here. I pull it through Now I take one pink bead, cross both ends of my line, pull down. Now we are going to go through the last bead, which is the black bead over here, and my right line, I pull it through the last 4 bead, okay? This one, pull it through the last 4 bead, and that is it. We are done attaching. I'm going to continue and cross both ends of my line into this pink bead on the side. That way I make sure my line is locked into the bead, okay? And I'm going to pull my line again into this black bead, okay? Lock into this black bead. Pull both ends of the line and pull. Pull nice and neat, okay? This is how it's looking like. So now what I'm going to do with the rest of the line, I'm just going to weave it back into the bead. Make sure it's well secured enough before I trim it off. So if you make your bag, I want you to weave the line into the bead a little bit before you trim it off. Don't trim off right away, else it can unravel and then make your work very loose, okay? So just weave the rest of the line into the bead. Make sure it's secured into the bead before you trim it off. That's what I'm doing over here, and I urge you to do the same thing. Just weave it back if you can weave it long. And this is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful, very pretty bag. Look at the beauty of this bag. Very, very beautiful, very beautiful, very easy to make. If you follow the steps, it's so easy to make, okay? Now we are going to make a flap on this. We are going to weave over here with the pink bead. I'm going to start in this pearl bead over here. I pull my line through the pearl bead and I add 3 pink beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull down. I'm going to pull again into the next bead. And I add 2 pink beads to my left line, cross and pull. Into the next bead, I add 2 beads to my line. Into the next, two bead. This is the same weave we are going to repeat over here. We are just repeating the same weave, the right angle weave. That's what we are repeating over here. I add 2 beads to my line, across and pull down. Into the next bead, add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull. Okay, you continue to the end. Now I'm pulling through the last bead over here, and the same bead I add 2 pink beads to it like this. I cross with my right line and pull. The same line again, my right line, this line. I add 3 pink beads to my line to start another row. I cross with my left line and pull. Now I'm going to pull my right line again into the next bead. Like this. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull. We are going to continue the same way, pulling through the bead one by one and add 2 beads to it. Okay, you pull through the next bead, add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull down. We are going to continue like this to the end. Cross and pull. So just go ahead and continue yours and make sure you don't miss a bead, okay? Now I complete this row. I'm adding 2 beads to my right line to turn and start another row like this. Cross with my left line and pull. Okay, now my line turn on the side again. On my left line, I add 3 beads. I'm starting a new row again. I'm going to pull into the next bead and then continue to the end again. So we are going to weave and make 5 rows. You see, we are going to continue and make 5 rows. Now I complete my 5th row. What we are going to do, we are going to step down 1 bead. So I'm going to start in this bead, okay? I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to work my way into the second bead. I'm going to work my way with the line and then enter the second bead. If you have a fresh line, just pull through the second bead and start your weaving. Now because my line, I have a long line, I don't want to cut it off. That's why I'm working my way with this into the next bead. Like this. You see how my line is in the bead? This is how it's looking like. We are going to start in the second bead and end over here in this one. I'm going to start again the same way. Technique we're using, that's 3 bead. Go through the next bead and add 2 bead. Cross with the right line and pull into the next bead. I add 2 bead to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. That is how we are going to continue to the end. And now I'm in the bead again. I lift 1 bead and into the next bead. Start with 3 bead, cross and pull into the next. I add 2 bead to my line. I cross with my right line and pull down. We are using the same technique to weave, just that we are going 1 step down to complete our flap. I'm going to go ahead and complete this row and make another one, okay? I'm going to go ahead over here. My line is short. I'm going to go ahead, complete this row, and then I will make another row like this. This is how it's looking like. Very pretty, very beautiful already. And now I'm going to turn it this way and we are going to make another weave over here. I'm going to pull my line through the pink bead. This pink bead in the middle over here. Like this one over here. That is where I pull my line through. Now I start with each line. I put 2 black bead on the line and I cross both ends of my line into this black bead and pull down. Again, on each line, I add 2 black bead on the line. I take 1 pink bead, cross both ends of my line into it, pull down. Again, on each line, I add 2 pink bead and I cross both ends of my line into the pink and pull down. Now again, I add 2 black bead on the line. I cross into black bead and pull. It's a pattern we are going to make over here with the pink and the black bead. Now each line again, I add 2 black on the line, cross into the pink bead and pull down. You can use your own choice of colors. You can use yellow. If yellow you like, blue you like, yeah, that's fine. You use your own choice of colors. Now we are going to repeat the pink over here, over on this side, okay? I'm going to repeat the pink, the design, the 4 flower pink over there. That is what we are repeating over here. Like this, pull down. And now we are going to continue again with 5 flower with the black bead. That's what we are going to do. On each line, we are repeating the 5 flowers. So on each line, I add 2 black bead on each line. I cross into the pink bead and pull down. You see how the pattern is? That is what we are going to continue and make it to the size of this bag. So this is how mine is. I'm going to attach it here onto the 3rd one on this side. I'm crossing both ends of my line into it, into this 3rd bead, okay? You have to count the same on the line. It has to be on the same line you use for the other side. I'm pulling through the same bead on this side, this bead, okay? This is 1 2 3 and here 1 2 3. Counting the bead is most important, else it's not going to look pretty. And this is how our bag is looking like. This is going to be used as our lock for our flap that we are going to use it. We don't have to use any kind of lock. This is enough. Okay, I'm going to weave this line a little bit back into the bead. Make sure it's tight and well secured enough. If you weave it long, you will be fine. You will be fine. This is how it's looking like. This is the design. I'm going to weave the rest of this line into the bead. Make sure it's well secured. Then I'll trim it off. Very beautiful bag. This is simple weave. Okay, this is how it's looking like. This is the bag. Look at the simple design we make on the top of it. It looks very beautiful, and that is what we are going to use to lock our flap. Okay, just tuck it in and hold it down for you nicely and make a design on it. Very beautiful. This bag is simple but elegant. Everybody can make this. Look at all these details on it. Look at how beautiful it looks like. So if you have a chain, you can hook it on both sides to make a crossbody bag for you. Very beautiful. You don't need a lock. This is the lock for you. Thank you for watching. I thank you for your time. Please like and share to friends and family, and don't forget to turn on your notifications for new videos. See you in the next one. Bye.